we as human beings, we tend to have short-term memories, in effect, most of the times. So that we as adults that been able to succeed in some way and been able to project our lives through many people due to our field of education or the opportunity to be the leaders and to give all kind of lectures or to guide people that are trained under your programs. But when you get to the black people, and in general, some of the big historians before used to mention that if you do not have memory of the mistakes you have done or your people have done before, you will commit the mistakes again and again and again. So I think that is very important for us to give our kids a history, like you were speaking about those great people like Marcus Garvey and so on, that they did so many good things for the black people, so that if we could insist in showing our kids how difficult it was for us to develop in the beginning economically, but how easy it was to make a good living. Because I keep saying, many times people in Guatemala, they ask me, well, can you tell us something about yourself? They'll be fine, I can tell you about myself. When I was growing, I tell them, I come to a family that there were 8 of us, plus our parents, so 10 in total. We have a monthly income of $100, and all of us, we can tell you for certain that we never went to bed with our stomach empty. There was always some food for us. There was education for us. There was family caring for us. So that when I think about my infant times, I say, goodness, I had a great thing. I love what I got, and that helped me because I didn't need a lot of money to have the education, nor to learn that I had to be good with people, nor to see my parents doing the right thing for us. So those things were very important for my development because I could see others and I could see the right things, and I could never think in disputing another of my parents. My father or my mother would tell me, look, do this, do the other. I wouldn't challenge them. Challenge them, look, no, I'm going to do something different. Or don't answer, no. What they said to us, it was normal, and we believed that they knew what they were telling us. So even if I didn't understand or I thought different, I always obeyed what my parents said. I remember some situation, that is when I finished my 6th grade, because in Guatemala, you go from 6th grade, then you go to high school. So there were 2 of us that finished in the same year, the 6th grade, 6th standard. So the 2, but just one of us could go to Guatemala City to study. So my brother was older than me, although he didn't have the marks that I had in school. I had a lot better marks than my brother. But then my father said to us, okay, fine, you will stay because you're younger. So he will go and study to Guatemala, and then you're going to stay here. And then what you should do is to repeat your grade. I had win with high marks my grade. I said, fine, Father, and I did that. And I cannot regret doing it. I didn't say, Father, no, why him, not me? No, I figured in those days that what my father was saying was right, and I should obey it. And I'm happy that I did so. And I have no hard feelings that why I spent 1 more year in my hometown instead of going to Guatemala City and study, because my parents just could not afford to send 2 of us. So we sent just 1 of the 2. So things like that is what I like to share with people. And that is that parents always want the best for us. Always. With very few exceptions to the rule. And the kids got to learn and understand that. And that is something that is being lost in the present generations. The respect for your parents. And that is something that I will like to share with you all, how we can do to insist in those basic principles, because those basic principles are the ones that make us big persons afterwards.
As we research information today, we continue to find that in fact, except for very technical education like yourself, the neurosurgeon, and the physicist who is calculating mathematical problems for aerospace re-entry and cannot be wrong, we find that education at the standard level is rather fractured. The nuts and bolts of education coming to our young children today is not relevant to the livelihood and to the necessary information that must be learned to maintain the family structure. Give me your thoughts on how we can approach or create a better path to develop our family. Because I think one of the reasons, in my estimation, the things that was taught to my father were not taught to me. The lessons that my father gave me have the value. What I went outside of my family structure to get did not have the value of the pieces my father and my mother gave to me. For instance, I was taught I was taught love and appreciation at home. I was taught that I was equal to my brother. I was taught that I was a part of a human family at home. But then when I went to school, I had to come first in the class for the teacher. I had to come first, and the criteria changed. In my estimation, I wrote a poem when I was 12 years old, and I think my poem said, "My mother and my father were not unjust, they forgot to trust. I could close my eyes in need. I was sent to learn the creed of freedom." And then, that was my rebellion against my mother and my father. Quiet rebellion. Because I was asking them, why did you send me to school? Why didn't you continue to teach me love and appreciation? Why didn't you continue to tell me, grow more chickens, grow more food? You understand?
Sure, sure. Well, what we need to understand is that in life, we got to go through phases and through stages, so that one stage belongs to our mother, the other stage belongs to the family, and then the other stage belongs to society where we're interacting. So that we need to accept that that you got to pass from one stage to another. You cannot stay in one stage. Once you are in a certain stage, and then you want to get back to an earlier stage, you're making a mistake. So once you're in a stage, and then you like to get to another stage, but that requires two intermediate stages to reach, then you're also going to be in some way having difficulties, because everything is stepwise, stage by stage, as our aging goes, stage by stage. Things that we should be doing at age 5, then we shouldn't be doing it at age 10. And what we should be doing at age 15, we shouldn't be doing it at age 20. And what we are doing at age 50, we shouldn't be doing it at age 30. So that I do believe that we as humans, we need to accept that life goes on, but at the same time, we are bound to follow certain stages in our life's period. And we should act according to the stages that we are. If we are 15 years old and then we want to act as someone as 10-year-old, then We're going to have something that is not going to catch, and then you're going to have difficulty. And in the country, so what I'm trying to say is that our parents uses, and we got to consider them as a stage. Then we have another stage, that is the high school stage or the primary school stage, where we have certain things to do. And then we have the adulthood, we have the university and so on. So that we need to respect stages. And we cannot, unfortunately, the parents cannot go to school for us. They send us to school because the school will provide those things that they cannot provide.
I say that in the sense that when I look at the documents written by my grandfather, he was not an attorney, but the documents he wrote were legal briefs. When I look at, when I listen to you tell me that your net income for the family was X amount of dollars and you never went to sleep hungry, that is because somebody knew how to manage that system. I believe what I'm saying is that we've lost the ability or the attitude necessary for good management. I ponder that because when I look at the young children that I have met recently, I was incarcerated for 23 days, 14 hours and a half. And the young people that I met inside of that prison, some had not finished primary school. Some were high school equipped. And one day I went on the blackboard and I was doing some mathematical problems with them. I explained the calculation of the speed of the earth, the axis, the rotation, 1 degree versus 360 degrees in the circle. And we did that, and then I had these young people, after they understood that, to calculate the distance the earth traveled in 15 degrees. They were able to do it. They were able to do it. This man was present while they did that. Now, these were young people who did not have college education, but were doing college math. So what I'm saying is that, given the opportunity, we're all going to pass through the stages. Fine. However, the stimuli that captures the eye, the distractions that exist, sometimes are more exciting.
They're easier to follow than sacrifice.
Yes. That is one of the dilemma of the young mind right now. The encouragement, I believe, comes from the television set. I believe it comes from loss of identity. It comes from lack of knowledge of themselves, lack of knowledge of their own history. And so we are now taking the responsibility here in Belize and in the region, using the vehicle CABO, to build a plan, forward movement through Afrocentric education. And Afrocentric education meaning understanding yourself, who you are, where you came from, how powerful you are, being created by the creator. And then taking that and turning it into the energy for you to travel on the road of life. That road may lead to an airplane pilot, may lead to a police officer, may lead to a school teacher, it may medical doctor, it may lead just about anywhere. But if we do not put the stimulus in front of our young ones and begin to build some schools that we build, and then begin to write the curriculums for our children that we write, that is centered to bring the results, so that it is not a talk, it is connected to an activity.